Hello everyone, this is Rachel in the potting shed taking a look at the Maria Thus Biodynamic Calendar for June 2022. Can't quite believe it's June already. Wonderful time in the garden for exuberance and vitality, and now the days are hopefully finally starting to warm up again. So what I hope to share with you in these videos is the rhythms that are contained within the planting calendar, but these are guides, they're not set in stone. They are there to enhance your own gardening and your garden, but the reality is that your life and your rhythm is the most important thing. So if you have a choice between not getting your seeds in or getting your seeds in on a day that is seemingly not so beneficial in the planting calendar, you still sow your seeds. But it's really important not to be worried about this. So the first rhythm I'd like to share with you is this new moon, full moon rhythm, and you'll find that under the solar and lunar events section here. This white circle denotes the full moon, and this dark circle denotes the new moon. Now, experience suggests and shows that sowing your seeds just before the full moon, in the week or so before the full moon, can enhance germination and the quality of your seedlings that come up. Now, someone recently asked me why I was looking at this rather than these sidereal rhythms down here, and I explained that what's really important is sharing all of the rhythms so that people can feel into the ones that can work in their daily life. So this is a rhythm that may be more accessible because it's a very set time and you can really plan for it. So you can take this rhythm a step further, and you could look down at this section here and choose to sow your seeds on the days that are linked with them in the celestial planting calendar. So on fruit days you could be sowing your beans and peas, your courgettes, your cucumbers. On a root day, you may be looking at sowing carrots, beetroots, working with your potatoes, winter radishes. Flower days, you can sow your flower seeds, your biennial seeds, but also things like cauliflower and broccoli, because research has shown that they tend to do better sown on those days, sown and tended on those days. And then leaf days, your leafy greens, your lettuce for regular sowing, lots of basil. Now, what we've also got here is another rhythm called the northern transplanting time and the southern transplanting time. Now, the northern transplanting time is a time when the moon is descending in the sky, and that is a time in the northern hemisphere that we use for transplanting. It's a time all about the soil. So along with your sowing at this time, you can also be looking at doing your transplanting. And again, you could work with these rhythms alongside that, but this is a time when that rooting impulse is really strong, so it really enhances your transplanting. Now, another thing that you can do in northern transplanting time is to spray your horn manure. Now, horn manure is again all about the vitality in the earth, and stirring and spraying it during the descending moon, during northern transplanting time, means that you're again enhancing that earthy rooting quality that you want to have in your soil. Another thing that you could do at this time is soil drench and root feeds. So if you've made any compost teas that you actually want to put onto the soil, again, the northern transplanting time is a good time to do that. Now, in contrast to that, we have the southern transplanting time, which is all about the upper parts of the plant. Now, this is a good time for things like foliar feeds, and again, you can take it into more depth by spraying your foliar feeds on specific times for specific plants. It's also a really good time for getting your horn silica spray done. Now, your horn silica is all about the upper parts of the plant as well, and it's good at this time of year to spray on plants that are starting to set seed or fruit. So just as you start to see all your baby beans coming, your strawberries starting to develop, your berries on the bushes, if you do a very early morning spray of horn silica, you are enhancing the plant's ability to really develop those fruits into vital, nutritious food. And it's really important, especially if it's hot, that you do your horn silica spray very early in the morning, because it's a concentration of water and silica crystal. You really need to make sure that the sun's rays are not too strong and not too overhead, because it can burn the plant. So it's a beautiful thing to do in the mornings. Another thing that you might want to do is working with things like pinching out your tomatoes in southern transplanting time on a fruit day, so taking out your side shoots. And what I didn't say about the 500 was in northern transplanting time is that's always an afternoon spray. So sometime after 3 o'clock generally. And that brings me into another rhythm, which is the daily rhythm of the earth breathing in and out. So you can use this rhythm, especially if it's very dry or very wet. So the earth breathes out in the morning. So if you imagine the mist rising up off the damp earth in the morning, so like an exhale, and it breathes in the evening, so kind of coming in to the night time. So you can use this in your garden. So if it's been very dry, you only really want to be hoeing your plants in the afternoon, so that whatever moisture is around will start to go back into the soil. But in the opposite way, if it's very wet, you could actually hoe, really wet, you could actually hoe in the morning, and that will release some of that moisture into the atmosphere. So the next rhythm to look at is Apogee and Perigee. Now, Apogee is when the moon is furthest from the earth, and Perigee is when the moon is closest. Now, Perigee, if you look back through your calendar, you'll always find is has these grey boxes. It means that there's really no beneficial forces to be working with on that day, and it's best to do something else. So this month we've actually got Perigee coinciding with the full moon, and that creates a supermoon, which means that these watery, strong influences are even more powerful at this time. So really a good idea not to be working at that time. But there is a very good thing that you can be doing before the full moon, but especially at this time before Perigee combined with the full moon, and that is to do a spray of equisetum. Now, equisetum works in a way by taking, it's a very silica-rich plant, and it works by bringing this light quality down into the soil, thus drawing away unwanted molds, fungus, things like that. So at this time of Perigee, when the watery influence is very strong, if you spray it 2 to 3 days before Perigee and the full moon, then you're really enhancing that effect of taking away that kind of wet, damp quality back into the soil where it belongs. So it's also the time to you need to harvest your equisetum if you're picking it yourself before midsummer, really, for its optimum strength and vitality. So I hope that's helpful. Have an absolutely wonderful midsummer. Enjoy the garden, enjoy the harvests, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.